that theme song? Oh, it's been a minute. But good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome. Welcome to another fabulous life uh, show and series. It's been a minute for me anyway. But thank you for all joining us and just welcoming us once again. We love the support. We love you all just joining us each and every time. We have such fabulous guests. And we have two guests that I'm actually very interested to hear them because they have one topic I have no idea about because I'm not a big basketball fan, but I like to watch the basketball, if you get what I'm saying. So I like that part. So I'll find out more information about. And of course, we have a fabulous young lady that's going to be talking about a lot of things that we all need to have conversations about, and domestic violence and so forth. And she's an author as well. But before we get to all of that and our fabulous guest, let me get to my fabulous co-host. And I missed him. I've been in a couple of hurricanes. Mr. Gerald C. Anderson, hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Glad to see you back. Welcome back.
Yes, yes. I almost didn't make it today. I was like, nope, I gotta go see my people. I need to see my people. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks to say the
I
least.
bet. Two hurricanes back to back. I bet it was a rough time.
Ooh, talk about a twosome. I'm like, man, listen. I'm like, what is going on? But before we even get to all of that, I really want to just thank everyone who just reached out to me and gave their support and supported me financially in some situations. Mr. Anderson and his lovely wife helped me. Beryl helped me. It was just so many people that just reached out. Harmony DeVoe. I mean, I can go on and on. Just, Dick Dixon, Diane and Charles Dixon helped me get stuff out of the house that I had to kind of put to the curb. It wasn't even going in suitcases. It's just taking it to the curb.
Right.
But again, it was a situation and an experience that I would never want to experience again. But I'm grateful, even to with that experience, you learn and you realize more things about yourself. You realize, one, how strong you are, and
Mm,
two, that you really have to be grateful and not attached to things and stuff.
right.
And I really have to just pat myself on the back because I never really was attached to things. But the one thing that I was just really wanting to get out of the house and make sure it wasn't damaged was my son's ashes. That was my main concern. And it's
Mm,
like, as long as I had that, I didn't care about nothing else. Take couch, take TV, take washer. I didn't care about nothing else because all of that can be replaced. That's what insurance is for.
right.
But that was one of the things that I'm so grateful that the Gulf and Helene didn't take that, because that would have destroyed me. That would have absolutely destroyed my soul. So again, thank you everyone who just reached out and gave me a conversation, just listening to me. Um, uh, I can't even express how many times you can just literally just desire to just be heard and just let someone listen to you and
Right.
just someone tell you, it's going to be okay. And you may know this, but still to hear it, it does something for you. It does something for your soul. So thank you to my pastor for reaching out. It's just so many people. And if I haven't mentioned your name, I apologize. King Cobra, I mean, everybody, Marlon Boone, everybody, Talera, I mean, just everybody, the Henrys, it was just so many people. And I really realized your tribe. You really know who your tribe is. And I just appreciate that like so much. So enough about me, about who we have and what we got going on, because it's going to be good, good.
I know you kind of dropped out a little bit there, but I'm guessing you talk about our guest. And
I think that's where I was going.
okay. Yeah, I've always wanted to talk to a professional basketball player, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, and then how big I was with domestic violence a few years ago. So that's going to be an interesting conversation as well. So, but before we get to all of that, we got somebody we're supposed to be talking to.
Yes. We're gonna go to and again it's like so one of the things that I lost in the hurricane was my glasses. So so I have some glasses that are not quite on point, but I'm getting one. So just bear with me. But we have Buff Patterson positive media moment. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, well, first of all, I'm so thankful that you made it through 2 hurricanes in Florida. Praise God that you're here. And I also want to give prayers to all the people in North Carolina, I believe, that had those horrible hurricanes. I mean, me living here in California, we don't experience a lot. Today it is cold, 65 degrees. So I just wanted to say thank God that you were able to retrieve the thing that was most important to you. And I have prayers out for other people now that are still experiencing loss in the spite of hurricanes. And I pray for you that you have no more hurricanes and that God covers and blesses you.
Amen to that one. Yeah. So
well, today, I'm excited about my Life's positive media moments. And what's so exciting about this is near and dear to my heart. Children, I have 6 kids.
Ooh.
And having 6 different problems.
That was Gerald, not me. I was thinking it, but Gerald said
it. 6 different situations. So today I bring to you beautiful.
She froze up on us.
She was bringing it though. She was.
Yeah, all we heard was the 6 kids.
That's it. It even shook the computer system. It's like, whoa.
So maybe the computer doesn't like it. Okay. William H. Richardson, hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, is something about the Black people in Maryland created so many things. In 1850, he created the reversible carriage buggy that carried children. Can you hear me?
Just keep talking, Buff. We'll piece it together. Just keep talking.
Am I okay? He created the reversible carriage. Before, carriages only can go one way, but his carriage allowed you to see your child while you push the buggy, and the wheels were 360 degrees that you could be able to maneuver in and out of buildings, on the street. And this invention is monumental in the care of children. And me, again, having 6 kids, I shouldn't say that again. I definitely needed to see it because my last one were twins. So you want to see your kids. I just want to say, as always, it's so amazing, all the inventions and patents that people of color, Black people created that have contributed to making an amazing America. I had the opportunity of going to Greece, realizing that America is still such a young country. Greece is over 5,000 years old. Jesus talked about Greece. So the fact that we live in such an amazing country and that Black people have contributed to such amazing inventions like the reversible baby buggy makes me proud. It makes me proud. Reversible baby buggy is.
Oops, sorry.
Well, that's great. That's great info. Thank you, Buff.
Well, thank you. And maybe next time the transmission will be a little clearer.
You did well.
What's in that cup?
It's what's in that cup that's making everything.
It is. It's a little hot toddy. It's a little hot toddy.
Oh, that's the
Wait till next week. Next week I got a better one for you. Next week is going to be monumental. Watch.
All right.
What we looking forward to, as we always do. So,
All right. Have a good evening.
All right. So yeah. So Buff again, she gives us our positive media moment with in situations and people that we never really heard of or thought about. So
Right.
she definitely enlightens us in various ways and in various different topics.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so let's shoot to our commercial and then get to our first fabulous guest.
Yeah, the NBA is in the house.
Yes.
At LC Safety and Security, we prioritize your safety. Our mission: stay safe, stay secure, stay saved. Offering expert security consultations and risk assessments for corporate offices, events, and personal protection. As certified firearms instructors, we provide MVHQL and wear and carry qualifications for both individuals and businesses. Specialized private marksmanship sessions ensure precision and confidence in firearm handling. Prepare for the unexpected with emergency medical response and personal safety training, led by certified professionals. From physical security to executive protection, we safeguard what matters most. LC Safety and Security, your trusted partner in safety, security, and training.
All right. So our first guest is Mr. Austin Carr. He's a former NBA basketball player, is known by the Cleveland Cavalier fans as Mr. Cavalier for his long tenure with the team. He also played with the Dallas Mavericks and the Washington Bullets right here in D.C. when they were called the Bullets. So Carr was part of the Notre Dame team that famously defeated the UCLA Bruins on January 1971 and snapping their 88-game winning streak. This victory marked UCLA's last defeat until 3 years later. Carr's accomplishments include being a member of the NCAA Hall of Fame and the NBA All-Rookie First Team. So let's welcome Mr. Austin Carr to the stage.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Welcome.
An NBA player, yes.
Yeah. A lot of miles up and down the court.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, you mentioned before the show that you were born here in the DMV area. Tell us how you got started into basketball.
Yeah, well, I was born in, my mother told me because my family's actually from North Carolina. I was conceived in North Carolina, but born in D.C. That's the place, because they all moved. We all moved.
A lot of detail there, Mr.
Yeah,
Carr.
right, yeah. We moved up to D.C. and I played, really, basketball was not my major. I wanted to play football and baseball. So, but one day I was playing football and I got knocked out. And when I got home, I don't know how I got home. I just told my mother, "Tell Daddy I ain't playing football. That's it.
I don't want to do that no more."
Yeah, I gave that up. So baseball, I was a catcher, I batted left-handed. So I played baseball all the way through high school, and things were going pretty good. And I hit about .330, so it was starting to go good for me. And I got an offer from the old Washington Senators, AA. So, but it just was not basketball. I started playing it, and I just seemed to like it. Just seemed to fit, And back then, though, it's not like it is now, where you get invited to go play at a gym and you play with. I mean, back then it was strictly playground, and you played with. I played against pimps, hustlers, everybody that thought they could play the game was on the playground, and
Right.
he played against all of them, and that's why I think I got the love for the game and the competition part of it, because when I first started going to school, because I went to Catholic school, and they wouldn't let me get off at my regular stop because I wore a tie to school, so I had to go a whole block away from school to come back. But once I started playing ball, they accepted me. So it all came out good. But basketball was what I kind of loved to do. I could play it all the time, play it anywhere. And I think that's why I liked it, because it was easy for me to, after school, go and play and work on it. Even though I didn't realize I was working on it, I was just playing it because I loved it.
Right. So how did you end up getting a scholarship to Notre Dame? That's not an easy task.
No, it wasn't. Well, first of all, my family was all about education, because my mother, she went 2 years. I think far as she went was 2 years at Howard University. My father never finished. He went probably to 11th grade. So education was big. You either do that or you don't do anything. So, and that's kind of how they treated me and my brothers. I had 4 brothers, and that's how they treated us. So if you didn't get your books, you wasn't going to play. So that's kind of how it all started as far as Notre Dame is concerned. And my father didn't like what was going on in the public school, so he decided to send me to Catholic school, and that's kind of how I started there. And I used to have to ride uptown to go up. I was from D.C., from where I was in Northeast D.C. I had to go uptown to 14th and U is where our school was, which is, if you know anything about D.C., 14th and U used to be right in the middle of the hood, right in the middle of everything going on wrong. In a Catholic school right in the middle of that, oh man, it was quite an experience. But and that turned out to be, and what happened was I was either going to go to North Carolina, where my mother's side of the family was, and my father was there too, but or Notre Dame. And back then, my father won the battle. That was one of the few battles my father won with my mother, because usually my mother won all the battles. So but that battle he won, and that's why I ended up going there. And luckily they forced me to do my grades, because I had enough grades to get there and go there. And that's kind of how it all started.
Okay.
Wow. So what would you say, just based off your experience in the NBA and doing the broadcasts and everything, what would you say is the difference between now and then as far as selection of players?
Oh, well, I think the biggest difference now is they let big guys do more stuff now. When I was playing, if you were 6'7", 6'8", you played below the free throw line. That was just it. They didn't even think you could do anything else. Now, look at Wembanyama from San Antonio. He's 7'5", and they got him bringing the ball down the floor, taking jump shots. In my day, they would have set his butt down on the bench, and he would have never gotten off the bench. That's the difference. Is that the big people have the ability to do more now, and they let them do more. They actually let them to do more, and that kind of changes the game, because now the little guy has to do a little bit more. And one thing, a little guy cannot afford to be weak now. Because if you're weak, man, they're just going to run over you. So you have to be, if you're going to be little, put it this way, the smaller guys you see out there on the floor now, they are some strong-willed and strong-bodied individuals. There are no weak guys out there anymore, because you just can't afford to take that punishment on a nightly basis.
So would you say the rules have slightly changed?
Yes, they have. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, look at the three-point line. When I played, there was no such thing as a three-point line. I mean,
and for what is the three-point line?
It's above it's the line you see on every court. It's the line that goes around the top of the key. I understand. I'll be a little bit more.
I just want to make sure I write that down. I'm asking for a friend.
It's a line that's behind the key, and it's the only line out there. But any shot taken from behind that one that you make counts for 3 points.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't have that back then. So
No.
See? Okay.
When I talk to people, because I have I'm not one to talk a lot about what I did, but I have a record in the NCAA of most points in a tournament game of 61.
right,
And we didn't have 3-point line then. So none of these younger guys, when I talk to Donovan Mitchell and all those guys on our team now, they can't believe that I scored 61 points with no 3-point line. But I said, hey, I shot 55% from the field. That's how I did it.
right.
So,
Will Chamberlain scored 100 in the game, didn't he?
yeah, you're right. Exactly. You're right. So, I mean, without the 3-pointer. So it can be done. You just have to be very efficient if you do it.
Right. Yeah. So when you going from college to the pros, well, actually, we growing up as a lot of kids want to be in the NBA. They dream about being in the NBA. So you were in the NBA for 10 years as a player, and you've been around it, ever since.
Right.
What's the biggest myth about for a kid to realize once he actually gets in the NBA?
It's not as easy as it looks. I mean, you're dealing with professional guys who have a gift and a skill to play out there. But when you get out there amongst those guys, and they're big, they're fast, they're quick, that is when you start to realize it's a different world out here. I mean, I would say it's tough to get young kids to understand how tough it is, because they see something that they love, but they don't realize the work you have to put in to get there. It's just not easy. It's not easy. I mean, there's a whole lot of guys that never reach their dreams, man, and it's sad, but that's the reality of professional sport.
Yeah, and when you say they have to put just as much work in, if not more, to stay there.
Oh yeah. I mean, believe me, and you can't be. You have to work at it. It has to be a 24/7. You might not be doing it physical 24/7, but mentally you always have to be constantly working on getting better at what you do. And my father used to always tell me, he says, son, I'm gonna tell you a secret about life. And he says, every moment you're not working to get better, there's somebody working to get better than you. And I kept that in my mind, and that kept me going and kept me focused in the classroom, and that, because I couldn't go, if I came home with a D, man, that was it. I mean, I couldn't play anymore. I couldn't go out and play. So I made sure that I got the D's I needed so I could do what I loved.
Right.
Yeah, I think you hit a good point, because I think nowadays things are so glamorized in a sense,
Yes.
and very superficial.
Yes.
So and you touched on a good point, because I definitely, just off of what I do know, which is not a whole lot, but what I do know is that it seemed like players back then, they actually worked towards their gift. They worked for what they were passionate about. And I think maybe now players kind of work towards the things and stuff. I mean, what is your take on that?
I think now a lot of them take it for granted, and a lot of them think it can be just poof, the magic dragon, and it happens. And back then, I mean, the guys I played against and played with, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I played against Kareem when I was in the 9th grade, and I played against him from the 9th grade all the way through college. And I mean, you have to. First of all, you have to be happy you have that gift, and then you have to work towards getting better. And understanding the defensive positions, understanding offensive moves, understanding how to play with 4 other guys. Now that to me is where it's a big problem now, because you got this AAU thing where they just throw the ball out and you just go play, and y'all just play and you go. But the players that don't understand that the only way you're going to be successful is to play with 4, learn how to play with 4 other guys. Those are the ones that had the most success. You look at LeBron James. Now, I've known LeBron since he was, when he was playing football in high school. And I'm telling you, the young man is so cerebral about the game. That's probably one of his biggest attributes now, is the fact that mentally he can still diagnose you. He can diagnose the team. I mean, the whole situation. He's just good at that. He just was gifted, and he does not take his gift for granted. I mean, in order to play to his age and not have major injuries, he has to take care of his body at an exorbitant. I mean, he works out before the game, after the game. Everybody else is going out to party or go somewhere, and he's working out. Then he'll go. But I mean, he constantly is on it, and he's probably one of the best athletes I've seen as far as taking care of it. He spends a lot of money taking care of himself now because he has trainers, and all of them are trained to do certain. I mean, it's amazing. There's a reason why that's the reason why he's been able to last this long. But understanding the game like he has, and all the guys, and there's not that many of those guys left around now where they think about the game that way, like you were alluding to. There's not that many guys around now. So when I was playing, all of them were like that, because that's how we made money then. You couldn't. I never forget, in my rookie year, I was sitting there. I had just twisted my ankle a little bit, and a guy named Butch Beard came in the locker room. He said, AC, can you walk? I said, yeah, I can walk. But my ankle hurts bad. He said, man, you better get in there and get taped up, because we're trying to win a ball game. I mean, nowadays, if you said that nowadays, they might smack you. But that's the way the game was played then, and that's how people were. I mean, that's how players were. And it's just different now. You know what I mean? But the ones that are like that last the longest, and they have the most success. I mean, those are guys. You can pick the Celtics, teams that are on top now that do well, and most of the teams that are fighting for that championship every year. Those are the guys that are still focused on the right things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because I remember, back in the day, I mean, because I grew up with 4 brothers. So, yeah, so they were very much into sports. So I knew about basketball, and coming from New York City, we were very much always on TV. So it was very interesting then. Now it's not that interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, it's just a different type of athlete.
Right. It's a different
vibe.
Yeah.
Different vibe. It comes like the money has changed. I mean, we had to scrap for every dime we got. Now the money comes very easy. I mean, myself, I always say that the NBA is becoming a league where you say, so-and-so and so-and-so, he makes how much money? And you go, he makes that much money? I mean, it's amazing. But I don't begrudge him, because, hey, it's there. So fine, if it's there and they're going to pay you, take it. But it's got to the point now where some of the fundamentals of the game, they pass over for the glamour of the game.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this question: Who would be your all-time starting 5?
Oh man, Cheryl, why would you ask me that? Man, that's just hard, because I mean, okay, if I'm going, I mean, oh wow, that's hard. I mean, I just mentioned Oscar Robertson, Jerry West. That's the backcourt. Then you got Wilt Chamberlain, you got Kareem, you got Bill Russell. Those would be my big people. Then you got Bob Pettit. I mean, you got Elvin Hayes. I mean, you got West. I mean, it's just so.
No Michael Jordan or Urban Magic Johnson.
Well, Michael. Well, you definitely got to put Michael in there too. I mean, Michael, and then you got. I mean, each era has its own starting 5. That's the way I would put it. Each era would have its own starting 5. As far as picking one starting 5 for all of them, there's too many great ones to pick one starting 5. But each era, every 10 years, pick 5, pick 10, pick 5, pick 5. It'll be easier to do it that way than to try and pick 5 guys for everybody.
Okay.
It's just tough, because It's too many good ones.
Many of them. Mm-hmm.
Tina, you said you mentioned New York.
Brooklyn.
I mean, you got Nate Tony Archibald.
Yes,
He's a bad brother, boy. Yeah, I mean, it just got so many great ones out of New York, Philadelphia, DC area. I grew up. I used to stand on the fence, behind the fence, and watch Dave Bing play him and Elgin Baylor, man. And when I was a teeny guy, I was like, wow, I want to be like them one day. I mean, that's the type of player that it's hard to pick. Again, it's just hard to pick one. I mean, one guy nobody talks about is Pete Maravich. Man, that dude was one of the best ever to have the ball in his hand. They act like he never existed. You know what I mean? So, and they do that to everybody. Like Kareem, they never talk about Kareem. Kareem, woo, boy. He used to give me nightmares in the 9th grade.
So what players do you think because every so many years, maybe 10 years or so,
right,
somebody comes in and they impact the game and they change the game. Who do you think is going to be that next impact player?
Oh, Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
From San Antonio. He's 7'5". He can do 7'5". He can do everything that a little guy can do. He can dribble the ball. He can shoot the ball. He can block your shot. He can run the floor. I mean, he can do it all. I mean, and he's going to just get better. He's from France. He was the first pick in the draft. He was Rookie of the Year. And this young man is going to be, he's going to change the game. I mean, I've seen him block shot standing flat-footed. Just when he decides to jump, you can't get the shot off. He's just too tall. I mean, and he's a competitor. In other words, some guys who have been gifted like that don't have the drive, the desire to be the best. And this young man has that desire, which tells me, just like Jordan, he's going to end up changing the game because his drive to be the best is not going to be stopped.
Okay. So we'll have to wait to see that. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to see him. You would start hearing about him. He was Rookie of the Year last year. Had a great year, and they almost they had a chance. They got close to beating the Olympic team in the finals of the Olympics. So he got to the final, got this team to the final. So he's going to be young man's going to be somebody to reckon with the next 10 years.
Okay.
All right. Well, I learned a lot more. And I now know the free throw line.
Yeah. Oh, and I just wanted to mention because Dennis and Gerald Albright are really good friends of mine, and I just wanted to say that was a great article you guys did on them. That was super. They're great people and really wonderful people, and I just wanted to say that was a great article in the magazine.
No, thanks.
Thank you.
They're great supporters, and appreciate that.
Good people. Yeah.
So tell the people what you're doing today. What you're doing now?
I'm in my 27th year of broadcasting for the Cavaliers, and I'm probably going to do another year or two. Then I'm going to hang it up and probably be an ambassador for the team. I'll be 80 years old then. That'll be enough. I've had enough.
80 and fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
You age backwards. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have to remember that aging backwards.
That's right.
Use that on the air. You mind if I use that on the air?
Go ahead.
Age backwards. I like that one.
All right. Well, we appreciate it.
Go ahead, Darren.
We appreciate you for stopping by and talking to us.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I kind of wish that the things had went a little better the first time because, but I couldn't. You couldn't hear me. I could hear you, but I don't know. Sometimes the technology sometimes gets on my nerves. You know what I mean? It just drives me nuts. So I try not to use it as much as I have to, and only when I have to. And that particular time, I was frustrated because I was there, but nobody could hear me, and it was just frustrating, you know. But it's a thing of you got to do it. You got to do it. And when I watch my grandkids, it's funny. The best babysitter you could have in the world is a iPad and one of those cartoon shows on there. Boy, I'm telling you, they do not move. I'm like, what is so? And I sat there and watched with her, and I sit there and go, what is so important about it? I mean, they won't move. Their mouth is open. They sit there like, that's a wonderment. And I was like, wow. I wish I had known that. And because it's the best mesmerizer you could ever have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you again. It was definitely a pleasure. And
I hope everything works out with your home situation.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy.
Everything
that you didn't lose your son. That to me was it touched me when you said that. So
thank you so much.
And,
I appreciate
and Gerald, thank you very much. Right. It's a pleasure. And tell Glennis I said hi.
I will. I will. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Right.
I like him. He has to come back.
Huh?
I say he has to come back again.
Well, we have to do an article and put him in the magazine too. So
yeah, I like him. He has a great spirit. I like that. Yeah. All right. So let's get to our commercial, and then we're coming back with our next fabulous guest, and we'll tell you more about that when you get back. So come on back. All right.
Domestic violence is real, very real. Every minute, 20 people are victimized by intimate partner violence. Domestic violence happens in all kinds of families and relationships. Persons of any class, culture, religion, sexual orientation, marital status, age, and sex can be victims or perpetrators of domestic violence.
Many people who are being abused do not see themselves as victims. Also, abusers do not see themselves as being abusive. People often think of domestic violence as physical violence, such as hitting. However, domestic violence takes other forms, such as psychological, emotional, or sexual abuse.
Hi, my name is Gerald C. Anderson Sr., author of Standing Firm. Standing Firm was written to bring awareness to the problem of domestic violence. Rain Davis, the main character of Standing Firm, is a fictional character. However, she is real, and she exists all over the world, mostly in secret. It's time to stop the suffering,
the hiding,
the fear,
the excuses, and the deaths. I challenge you to stand up and be accountable. If you suspect someone of being abused, help them to get out of it. Encourage them to call the domestic abuse hotline at 1-800-799-7233.
Let's
make
a difference now.
So yeah, that was really touching. That I remember all of that. All of that.
I thought it would be appropriate, seeing how our next guest is on the point of domestic violence, and we have the purple going here too. So
absolutely. So not only is she an author, she's a survivor. She's an advocate, and I think that speaks volumes in itself. You know, just being an advocate of such a thing. And you know, we'll let her speak more about it because I think her words are going to be very powerful and enlightening to us. So let's bring LaKisha Davis on. Hello, LaKisha.
Hello, how are you both?
How are you?
Doing
Thank you
well.
for joining us. Absolutely, it's a great joy. So love this. Love this. So tell us, okay? I thought somebody was going to say something. So,
She's not. She's out of the game. You know, she's been out of the game for a minute. So
No, 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 no. I wanted so I'm the type, I'm very talkative. So I'm the type that will give you the opportunity to, say what you want to say and give me the platform because I will actually take the ball and dunk it. I love your I love your speaker. your
I love it. I love it. So first and foremost, again, thank you for just coming on the show and just, bringing this awareness. Not even, I don't even think it's fair to even say awareness because it's a reality. It's the day in and day out. Someone is living this life every day. So tell us more about not what you're surviving from, but why you feel like this is a responsibility for you to keep just keeping us encouraged or enlightened about it.
Okay, so let me first start by saying um, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I did not understand domestic violence before. I was in the situation. I met my boyfriend at 15 and lost my virginity at 16 and was with him until I was 23, and I was a church girl. So I was, I'm serious. I'm like sneaking and moving and hiding and doing all these things, knowing I'm not supposed to do none of this, and realize, oh my goodness, I'm in a domestic violent relationship, and my dad raised me, so I didn't have my mom, so he had no clue. He had no clue. He did not know, and the fact that I was employed during my 12th grade year with the Federal Aviation Administration. Like my life was getting established. I had my own place and stuff. So my dad couldn't really get in my business as much because I wasn't at home.
Right.
So it was verbal abuse first. And, just saying your mom wasn't there for you and I'll be here for you. I'll die for you. And then it was belittling me, nobody had ever loved you like me. And, this, that, and the third. And then it was shoving, like we'll get into arguments. Then he in my face and he pushing me. I'm like, what? Like, come on. And then it went from that to actual physical punching and like grabbing my braids and ripping them from my scalp, So, and it was, and I'll end with this so you can ask me questions. It was never a lifetime story with me, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to anyone who does not fight back. But I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but I do believe God did not create us to be punks and to be beat up on. I didn't realize it was domestic violence because I was fighting back. But love doesn't hurt, and you shouldn't have to communicate with your hands things that you can articulate out your mouth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you hit on a key point that I don't hear much about the verbal aspect of abuse. We hear about the physical, we hear about the sexual aspects to it, but I don't think we speak enough. And I'm glad you brought this up because I don't think we talk enough about how powerful words can be it because they can make you or break you. And a lot of times, verbiage can really cut to the core. So, elaborate a little bit more on the verbal aspect of abuse.
So, verbal abuse is actually something that pimps use to
Mm,
control your mind, right? I'm just going to say that's one category
mhm.
because you could be in a marriage and your husband tell you or your wife, oh, a woman, let me use that.
Other thing,
A
yeah.
woman can say you will never be nothing. You trifling. You this, you that, and that man start really feeling down and bad about himself. Like he going around this family, he all down and sad. They like, baby, pass the potatoes, and they just like.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he just heard that he was a no good nothing. He trembling. He this, he that, and now he's supposed to go smile around his family. That's abuse. That is abuse.
True.
Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, Gerald.
So do you have the opportunity to talk with other women who have gone through this or maybe even going through it at the time, and what do you say to them?
Yes, for 20 years, I've been a grassroots worker. I've been invited all over the community to speak behind panels, but my greatest work is in the field. So I like to get dirty, right? I look nice right now, that's fine. But I like to go in the trenches because that's where our hurting people really are. They hiding under rocks and behind closet, doors and all that. I come knocks it down, move it over. Come on, I'm coming to free you, like Harriet Tubman. So what I say to them is, I'm not forcing you to leave, baby. I'm not going to tell you to leave because if I make you leave, you left because I told you to leave and you didn't leave because you wanted to, so you're going to go back. What I am going to do is let you understand what domestic violence look like. Also give you my experience, some deep, serious situations, how it could have been so deadly that he and I could have died together in some instances. But to get them to understand the warning signs, help them with an escape plan, because you never tell an abuser, I'm going to leave you. Because sometimes they feel like they own you and you going to leave who? You going to leave what? Oh, okay. We'll see about that, right? Because my abuser told me, I'm going to kill you and hide your body, and then I'm going to kill myself so your family can't bury you or find you. That's how much I love you. And if you try to leave, that's what's going to happen to you. So you got to give people an escape plan, a male or female, because a gentleman was just killed in Southeast by a woman, domestic violence. She killed him,
Wow.
right? So, a psychologist, she snapped out, drove to DC from school and killed her boyfriend. So domestic violence go both ways. So I never want people to feel like, here we go talking about domestic violence, beating up on men again. It's both.
Yes, absolutely.
It's both. I'm very fair. But next question.
Yeah, that was actually a big thing that came out because some background back in 2015, and this is how I met our mutual friend Lala. Back in 2015, I wrote a book, Standing Firm, that had to do with domestic violence. So we had basically a campaign about that, about standing domestic violence. And that was one of the things that people were reaching out to me and they were talking to me and they were DMing me and stuff. And even men were doing it as well. So that was one of the things that I learned at that time, because there's for men is underreported, period, because men won't go into a police station and say I'm being abused by my wife or my girlfriend or whatever, because we too macho for that. So there's probably more cases out there than we even know about because it's underreported. But they would email me or DM me and talk about it. I remember one day I spent like a whole day talking to a guy going back and forth about it. So that's a good point.
I was going to say, I'm sorry to cut your thought off. Continue.
No, go ahead. I was done.
No, I was going to say emotional abuse is something people aren't aware of either. They don't know that they're being emotionally abused when a person says, I'm going to kill myself. If you don't be with me, I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself. Now they're making you responsible
for their
happiness or whatever they're dealing with. Now they're dangling you like, if you don't come over here and go to dinner with me, say a woman that you know clearly is not working for you, and you're just like, I don't want this, and she's like, I'm gonna kill myself, and I'm gonna leave a note and say it's all your fault. Oh my goodness, that is emotional abuse. Now you try, you like,
Yeah.
somebody help me.
Mm.
No.
That is true. It's true.
Wow.
Also, like, I think you should, well, you tell me, because I think sometimes, when you think of domestic violence, a lot of times they put a certain face on it. Because they don't usually put the confident person behind, like, oh, that person would never be, tolerate domestic abuse or anything. It can be, you can be the most confident, you can be as strong as Goliath, you can be all of these things, but it can happen to you. And I just got out of that. So I know, and I'm a very confident person, but I was very much verbally abused. And it can happen to all of us, any of us. So the face, I think, needs to change.
And I was married, so that was my first
Mm-hmm.
half of my life, domestic violence, right? In my early life. So now in my 40s, I'm newly divorced to a former veteran. Well, he's a veteran now, but I'm saying he's a former Army soldier who went to Iraq twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him 3 months after he got out of the Army. And because I did not understand what his challenges would be moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
I became a victim again, not of physical violence, but of emotional violence. Because again, he
Right.
knew I wasn't a punk. I hate to say it in that way, but I'm not. So he knew I'm not gonna, army or not, I don't care what you done over there. It don't make me no difference. But my thing is, my thing is the emotional abuse. I felt crazy. I felt like I wanted to hurt him, and I'm sitting there praying and fasting. God, please. He just
Yeah.
fed my fish to piranhas. He just locked me out the room. He just took all the food and put it on the floor out the freezer. Like, I'm sitting there praying, God, get me out of this, because he's disturbing me, and
Mm-hmm.
he's
Disturb.
taking away from my peace. And I was married for 8 years, and
Mm.
God had to show me that I got married, and my friend Lala actually let me sleep on her couch with my children because it was so bad. And I just know domestic violence wears many tags. You know,
Absolutely.
it wears many tags, and then it gives you the other three. Domestic violence is financial. If someone has more money than you in a marriage or a relationship, and they controlling you, if you don't give me sex, you ain't getting no money. If you don't do this, you're not getting no money. You know what I'm saying? That's financial. Spiritual, using the Bible to get you to do stuff. That's wrong. I grew up in church. I know God can't nobody trick me. I'm like her, you telling me she couldn't read or write. God told her who to believe, who not, where to go, and she freed over 300 people. And I really know her family in real life. So for
Wow.
me, it's just it's so much abuse, and then sexual. That's the last one. I was raped sodomy at 5 by a cousin who went to law and then did 10 years for raping me. So domestic violence is also sexual violence, in which I'm a domestic violence advocate on all spectrums, and I'm certified with the University of Baltimore Criminal Justice Department to train judges, lawyers, police on trauma. I've been able to study the four quadrants of the brain and what each function does and why people do the things that they do. So someone could talk to me and I won't judge your behavior and can actually figure out and understand why you do that. I know I can just give me 10 minutes with you.
Yeah.
I'm a know why. If you talkative, or I know why. I'm talkative. That part of my brain was activated when I was sodomized.
Mm-hmm.
So I speak up, I speak out. So that's why I'm an advocate. I speak up, I speak out.
Mm.
So, different things people sometimes forgetful. The hippocampus part of your brain, the
Mm-hmm.
right bottom part of your back of your head, that holds memory and emotion. So if someone has experienced different types of trauma, and their body keeps the score and will respond to that trauma. to a
Mhm.
scent, a smell, a touch, a sound, some type of vibration. They're gonna remember that, and the body remembers.
That is so true.
The body
Mm.
will never forget. So all you could do is just get therapy and try to work on peaceful places and things to do to bring your
Yeah,
inner soul peace.
Mm.
that's why I like to be by the ocean, but I gotta rethink that one now. But yeah,
But tell us about your book, though.
but yeah.
Yes, my book is called Your Deliverance is Coming, and it's a spiritual thriller. It's on Amazon and Kindle. It's been out for 7 years. And what's so cool is that Judge Mathis made me autograph his copy. Boris Kojo took a copy from me so humbly. Um, who else? Taraji has 2 copies. Beyonce's dad, he has a copy. He told me he sees something in me. He gonna see me at the top. And I said, bless you, brother, because you must know something. You know what I'm saying? You got to know something. So, Ayana Van Zandt,
Uh,
just so many people. I was able to put it like in their hand. I ain't have to mail it to them or nothing.
uh,
But God is so good, and it's just I can still smile. I'm gifted enough to smile through my adversity. And it's really a thriller when you read it. It's me in white fabric, and it looks so sweet. But as they say, don't judge a book by its cover.
this is true. This is true.
So one day, God told me a lot of people don't like to read, so it'll be a feature film. And people have been coming to me like, it should be on Tubi. You should do a Lifetime, Netflix. And I'm like, I'm not down in none of that. I'm not. I can only tell you what God told me. He said it need to be translated in China, Iraq, everywhere. Because male, female, every creed, walk of life, every chapter somebody can relate to. Every
Mm.
chapter. Even men without their mothers or someone. My mother was on drugs. My dad raised me. You see what I'm saying? Some people got that story who they been sodomized. I know what that feel like. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like for real. People in jail got. I need my books in the jail. I said all of them free. They think they free behind them bars. I'm telling you the truth.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you should make it into a movie if you feel that like that. 'Cause that's what I did with mine. So I mean, it can be done.
Yeah.
Send it to me. I want to see it, please. Send
Okay.
it to me. Please send it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an excellent movie too. It's really good. Really good. Really, really good. So you'll
I
enjoy
put
it.
I put the link to your book in the chat for people. So
Bless your heart. Bless you. Thank you for that. Because the
mhm.
money goes to my daughter. She wants to be a lawyer. She's in 12th grade. She is inspired. She does an internship for a law firm, one by the FBI building, and the other his office is by the Magic Johnson Theater. But he said she already thinks like a lawyer, and she wants to do 3 types of law. She wants to be called for a prosecution case or a defense case or a real estate case. She wants to
Ah,
deal with those 3.
oh, that's smart.
So, and her name is Serenity, like the prayer. And she definitely has the wisdom to know the difference between what she can and cannot change.
Mm. And she's
So
what?
go ahead. Burl asked the question: Was the book based on a true story?
Oh, it's so true, baby. Listen, a lady told me her husband had to come and get her out the bathroom at 3 in the morning because she locked herself in there to finish reading it.
Mm.
Be careful with that. Sip that like fine wine if you drink dried grapes. Just be easy with it. Just sip it slow. Seriously. Every
I
emotion
like
to
your
a
analogy.
human, you're gonna feel. And then I talk back to you in a book. I'm like, you know what I mean? And you're gonna find yourself saying, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking to a book.
Yeah.
You right.
So she-
Woo!
yeah.
That is too funny. Bro says be easy with it.
And you know what? I'm happy I met you two because maybe you can help me with something. And I don't mind this being live. PBS Frontline did a story on my neighborhood in 1989, and they featured my dad and I. And the documentary was called Throwaway People. I
Oh,
couldn't believe it. They didn't tell us the title until it was aired. I was 10 years old in 89.
oh,
And they featured us. They featured us. And my dad passed away when I was 36. I held his hand and walked him down the block. I love my dad. Rest in peace, Rudolph Norman. But I want to reopen that and let them know we're not throwaway. We
wow.
not throwaway. I've been with the Federal Aviation Administration 28 years. I do collateral duty as a civil rights mediator. Undefeated resolution cases, white on white crime, black on white, black on black. I've been doing my thing, and I currently work in small business, helping small businesses get federal contracts to feed their families.
Mm.
So it's like when you call me throwaway, because me and my dad was shopping at the thrift store and he lost his mom, our house was deployable. You just thought that that was how our life was going to be. It's not fair. I think they should circle the block, and I'm gonna be nice about it so they can see what's going on in my community. Because the chief of the fire department is out of my community. My best friend works for pretrial services. The judges asked her who should and should not go to jail. But y'all said we was the ones to be thrown away. She
Thrown away.
trying to keep them from going to jail. She write recommendations to put them in treatment because she know the story. She been there. We been there. But why we had to be thrown away? We Joseph. We coming up out the ditch with our colorful jacket that was snatched. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't get me
I love
started.
it. I love it.
I told you I'm talking to you. Yeah, I told you.
Yes, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's good. So yeah, I'm glad you was able to jump in at the last minute too, because we only discovered you last week because we're looking for somebody to talk
Yeah.
about domestic violence. So we appreciate you jumping in. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe in divine appointments because I had to hear the gentleman ahead of you to realize that even when I think I'm done working, I'm not. So when I'm done, I need to be practicing before I get to my situation and after I leave the situation. Whatever God sent me to do, I need to keep working. So bless that brother. MBA, that was just for him to be there to learn life skills to teach us how to keep going. You know, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you again. Like I said, I put your book
I
in
love it.
the chat, so people, hopefully you'll get some sales from that. So, and then we'll circle back around and talk again. The link to
Please,
also in the chat.
please.
It's
And I
all
would
that's
love to welcome you all to my agency. I'm the national chairperson for Black History Month. And we're going to do it big. I had Raheem Devon there before. I had Barack Obama's photographer there. I flew Harriet Tubman family in, to speak. So it's in February 5th. You all could be my guests. I can have your names at the guard's desk. You all want to come to our auditorium open ceremony. I'm going to make sure you'll never forget it.
okay. We'll definitely talk about it.
Okay, got time to get your flight, queen, and you here, so.
Yeah, he's there, right? Right on there.
Right.
All right.
Well,
Absolutely love it. Oh,
thank
yes.
you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, LaKisha.
Have a good evening.
You too, you both.
All right.
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
LaKisha. I like her too.
Yeah.
We always have such great guests, and we learn so much. I love it. I love just absorbing, just taking in all of this new information, just soaking it up like a sponge. I love it. I love new stuff. I love to learn.
Yes. So next week, everybody, we know we normally do this every 2 weeks, but next week we have a special show that's dedicated solely to breast cancer awareness for the month. So we'll have 3 guests on the panel this time instead of the normal format. It'll be a panel talking about breast cancer awareness. So we hope you will tune in for that next Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern time. And so let's talk about breast cancer. That'll be hosted by Tina and Lala. Also, thank you to Lala for filling in for Tina.
Yes, thank you, Lala. I forgot about that. Thank you. She did a really good job too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So
and I love you, Barrow. Thank you, Barrow.
So it'll be the 2 of you guys next week. So
yes.
All
I
right.
love it. I'm excited. This is gonna be good. So we have
Yeah.
a show next week. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So till next time.
Next week.
Yes. And thanks everyone for your questions. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying next week for the special show. 2 weeks for the regular show.
Yes. So thank you everyone for tuning in once again. And please join us again next week. We look forward to it. So have a good evening and stay focused. Have a good night.